Hello, good evening, friends. It's the Cosmic Connections. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler along with you for the next hour or so while we explore the astrological weather of the week and what's coming up. And we are in full blown eclipse season. So there's a lot of energy in the room. There's a lot of energy in your room, in your home, in your family, in your offices. There's a lot of unexpected, little volatile energy, probably. And my question to you today, good evening, Stephen, is simply this. Are you feeling this prickly type of change energy that's afloat? Hi, Chastity. Good evening. Hello there, Jill. Welcome, friends. We have, like I said, we're clear into the eclipse season. And while that would be enough for any given week, we also have the pending Saturn Uranus square. That's going to be on the 13th. I mean, a lot of people are talking about the eclipses, and yes, they are super important. They're portals of change. But the other big astrological cosmic event is when Saturn and Uranus, for the second time this year, we have one more time at the end of the year in December, form a square. So we're feeling tension. We're feeling the energy of change. And I'm here to explain it to you all. So a big welcome to you all. And thank you for being here. And thank you also for sharing. If you'd be so kind as to share this live webinar as we're going along to your own Facebook page or your YouTube channel, I would be most grateful. I'd be also most grateful if you would like my page and if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel. And super grateful if you would check out the offerings at the CIA. Yes, I am a proud agent. Agent 56, Cassandra Joan Butler, with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, conscious, intentional astrology. And I think we are also beaming in from that wonderful page. If you have an interest in astrology, I can't encourage you enough to look at the offerings and perhaps consider becoming a member of the CIA. I get lots of great looks when I'm walking down the street with my CIA shirt. My son, he's got one too. And I mean, it kind of appeals to my scorpionic nature. What can I say as an agent, a true agent of the CIA? Thank you, Cindy, for sharing. Thank you so much. Hi, Donna. Hi, Krista. Donna and Nancy. Good evening. Retta and Michelle. Hello there, Marianne and Lois and Cindy and Christine, Maria and Janet and Derek, Kathy and Carol and Leah, Robin, Patricia, Lisa, Ben. Good evening, Lisa. And Joan and Jill and Chastity, Stephen, thank you for being here and thank you so much for sharing. We have a lot to cover tonight. We have a lot to talk about. So forgive me if I'm not saying hello to everybody as they come into the room, but I spread the word. And you don't need to be an astrologer to feel some of the tension that's afloat. And today we have the last quarter cycle of the lunation phase. And please understand, if you're new to astrology, dig out your 4th grade geometry books, because a lot of what we say when we talk about aspects is based on simple geometry. Well, maybe not so simple, but the idea is that we divide up the ecliptic or the circle from which we derive our astrological charts. And when a planet is positioned with another planet or a light with a light, that's the sun and the moon, there is some archetypal symbolic tension that reflects the angle that the two bodies make, right? So we say during a full moon, the sun and the moon are opposite to each other. So we're going through an oppositional time. Last week, of course, we had the full moon lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Sagittarius. We talked about it then. Next week, we have the solar eclipse at 19 degrees of Gemini. We'll talk about that then. But we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to really focus and hone in on the square that's taking place in the sky. And a square is a 90-degree angle between the sun and the moon, between the moon in Pisces, which is intuition and sensitivity, and Gemini, which is logic and linear thought and linear rationality, right? So 1 makes 2, that's Gemini, but 1.5 and a 1.5 plus 1 equals 2 as well. And that might be the roundabout way that Pisces reaches the same conclusion. So we have, in astrology, we have signs that are what we call mutable. And mutability means changeable. And changeability often reflects a sense of give me more evaluation, give me more data, give me more information before I make my mind up. So my question tonight, are you confronted with a situation in your life where you're struggling, truly struggling with trying to reconcile between your heart and your head? Are you trying to make a conclusion or a decision and trying to integrate heart and head, Gemini, head, or heart, Pisces, moon? Because today, in this phase between now and the 10th of June, would be a great time to try to integrate both feelings and rationale. I mean, that's how we make a decision. Sometimes we make only a linear rational decision, and we let out and ignore or neglect the emotional part of it. And very often, sometimes we make the opposite. We make emotional decisions that aren't based on reasonable logic. So the calling card of the sky for the next 7 days, I think, one of them is to try to blend feelings with thoughts and thoughts with feelings to come to some important decision. And that's true for all of us where we find Gemini and where we find Pisces. But because the lunation is the last quarter square, and tonight the moon is in Pisces, and in just about 4 to 5 hours from now, it's going to be kissing and hugging Neptune in the sky, we're going to focus on the Pisces moon. Does that make sense? So celebrate when you go to sleep tonight, no matter what part of the world you're at, all right, when you nap or meditate or sleep in the next 4, 5, 6 hours. Focus on your meditation and focus on the intuitive part of yourself, right? Because when the moon connects with Neptune, our visions and our dreams and our heart comes alive. We become more intuitive. And if you're new to this, this little gathering we have on Wednesday nights, please be advised that in about half an hour from now, I'll start up with what's called the mediumistic psychic part of the sharing. So I'll share those right brain gifts with you. So that's the question of the night. I don't have to know the question. I don't have to know what your concern is, but I'm just curious to see if any of you are struggling with trying to make a decision. When it comes right down to it, you're trying to blend and merge intuition and feelings with logic and rationality. Now, keep in mind, this begs the question. It begs the question of how logic is communicated. Again, I'm talking about Gemini. Gemini is the sign of the wordsmith. It represents the way we think, the way we speak, and the words we use. And words often aren't adequate to express feelings, are they? In other words, words by their very nature are symbols for something else. They're not the thing. Just like an astrology chart is not the person. They're symbolic representations of, well, in words cases, objectification of external reality or internal consciousness. So words is the purview of Gemini. And because Gemini sun is bouncing about the unconscious moon in Pisces, that's my theory. That's my hypothesis, my words that I'm sharing with you and the feelings I'm trying to express to you that I am seeing in my own personal life, in my own clientele life. A lot of people out there who are struggling mightily between trying to find a balance between words and feelings and emotions. So that's my question. Anyone feeling that? Hi there, Joan. Hi there. You're feeling a little reactive, a little grumpy, says Lisa. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Kari. How are you? Okay. John's tuning in too. Great, Janet. Hello from Asheville. You too, my dear Cindy. Okay. Oh, I love it. Lois is giving us the other piece of what I want to talk about. There's so much to talk about. What's going on, friends? Mercury is retrograde right now. So Lois was sharing with us that there's an essential oil company that's making an oil specifically for Mercury retrograde. I think that's a brilliant marketing idea, Lois. All right, feel free to put the oil company's website up. Oh yeah, friends, we have Mercury retrograde as well. And even if you are what do they call them in Harry Potter's muggles, you're totally new to astrology. Everybody has heard of the dreaded Mercury retrograde. And I got to tell you, friends, I was talking to someone today and he said, I love Mercury retrograde. I was born with Mercury retrograde. When Mercury is retrograde, I feel more centered, more alive, more logical. True story. A third of you out there, a third of the entire world was born under a Mercury retrograde. Does that mean that all third of 8 billion people have problems with their minds? I would say the contrary. I haven't done any research in this, but some astrologers have, and they've made note that oftentimes people born with Mercury retrograde are highly, highly creative and intelligent. So get rid of your prejudice against the Mercury retrograde period. Although, Lois, thank you for reminding me, this is a Mercury retrograde, another opportunity for us to blend feelings with logic. And it can be a little convoluted time. We could even ask that question tonight. Does anyone have a Mercury retrograde moment where you're going in one direction, like your computer, and then zips off into another direction, or any inexplicable problems with electronics, perhaps, I don't know, your vehicle or your computer, I mentioned computer, traveling and so forth and so on. Because Mercury is the archetypal image or symbol of communications. And let's face it, sometimes communications can go awry. So oftentimes we will note major miscommunications during a Mercury retrograde. All right, good evening, Nancy Smith. Okay, Leah is not feeling which way to go. I can finally feeling comfortable being direct. You love Mercury retrograde, says Lisa. Okay. Tech challenges this week, says Kari. Okay. Tongue-tied, says Bonnie, during Mercury retrograde. So sometimes things are left better unsaid, right? Because the Mercury retrograde is saying, trust your heart, trust your feelings. Oh, electronics, says Maria. Yes, everything breaking down in general. Okay, some other comments. Cindy was born under Mercury retrograde as well. And again, I have found in my practice over 40 years, Cindy, that you folks born with the Mercury retrograde have exquisite talents for creativity, at the very least. Jill is feeling alive and grounded and certain of her path today. That's fabulous, Jill. Again, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I know your chart a little bit. You have very significant Gemini and Pisces in your chart, right? So where we have Gemini and Pisces in our chart with quarter lunation, with this last quarter square, we may feel in the next week an aha moment of finally getting things organized, situated, and more focused in our lives. So that's one thing. And sometimes I always default a lot to mommy's advice, right? When in doubt, do nothing. If you're faced with a situation, let it seep. Let your mind simmer. Let yourself kind of go within. I know last week we talked a little bit about thinking about thinking. And this is kind of along the same lines, but I'm bringing in the intuition of tonight's Pisces moon, which is moving slowly up to a conjunction or a hug to Neptune. So as I was saying earlier, watch how your meditations, your dreams, or if you're actually doing psychic work, especially today or later on this evening, may be exceptionally on target because of this energy. All right. Yes, Nancy is experiencing that. That makes sense. Hi there. Hi, Marion from Boulder. Big love for the CIA. Absolutely. So glad you tuned in too. Your fiance is experiencing this, Chastity. Rocio B, you're feeling very emotional. Yeah, a lot of times this is the pure emotional moon of Pisces. Intuitive, sensitive, and emotional. Look, my dear, where Pisces falls in your chart. In fact, everybody, please look where Pisces falls in your chart, because that will give you a keynote of how the energy today and for the next week is operating. But like I said, we have so much to talk about. So think of your months. Every month is divided up into 4 weeks. Well, duh, but there's 4 major lunations: new moon, first quarter moon, full moon, and last quarter moon. And so we're in the last quarter cycle, and we're kind of winding down from the excitement of 3 weeks ago when we planted our important goals and dreams under the new moon in Taurus. And now we're taking stock of what we thought we wanted and making sense of that as we tick off to the big explosive solar eclipse of June 11th. Did I say 11th? It'll be 11th in some parts of the world. I meant to say June 10th from Western New York. This is where I'm from right now. I'm in Western New York, Buffalo, New York. In any case, so this week is the completion week. This is the week of completion and letting go. And again, the theme is blending head with heart. And we may be feeling a little confused because Mercury's retrograde. But we're all also anticipating a big event, my dear friends, which takes place on the 13th. I mean, those of you who follow astrology, you already know about the eclipses, right? They're big news. They are big news. But another big news for 2021 are the 3 Saturn-Uranus squares. Now, a square is similar to what we're experiencing tonight with blending in the last quarter cycle, logic with emotion. We'll look at the half quarter moon. We'll say, oh, yeah, that's what that means. But a square between Saturn and Uranus, we won't visibly be able to see. But trust me, friends, it's working on all of our unconscious matrix already. So Uranus is in the sign and has been in the sign since May of 2018 of Taurus, which means grounded reality. And Uranus is the planet that represents unyielding possibilities. That's the genius planet. It's the planet of change and excitement and technology and innovation. Saturn is now in the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign. Whoops, I probably should turn my phone off before someone calls me. See how sensitive my distractible mind is? Oh, well, if it rings, we'll just ignore it. Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius, and it has been since December 21st of last year. They're both going to be at the 13th degree on June 13th, forming a square, a tense configuration that's trying to build for each of us a new world. Maybe it's the new normal. A new world like we've never seen before. All squares of the big planets herald a portal of new beginnings. But this new beginning, which takes place June 13th, post the solar eclipse, is begging the question that we need to consider the old, but build the new with faith and sweat equity, with a sense of goal setting, push them, pull them, I can do it. It's a can-do cycle, basically. It's a cycle of optimism because it represents taking the old and the new and blending both and forming a new doorway for change. And that takes place on the 13th next week. So June is a big, big, big month of change. To be honest, you want to really dissect your chart. Between now and next week, look where Pisces falls. On the 13th, you want to look where Uranus in Taurus is and where Saturn in Aquarius is. Again, for newbies, I want to make this into a simple framework for you. Our world, our lives, our decisions generally don't change unless there's pressure and tension on them, right? Think about that for a minute. Essentially, water likes to find its own level. Yeah, and we're 90% of water. So a lot of times, it takes a lot of effort to get out of bed in the morning, right? Us watery types, all of us, we're chemically water, sometimes just like to languish and be left alone. But when we have something like a Saturn-Uranus square, it's motivating this, perhaps a dream you may have had way back when in May of 2018 to be reignited and replanted and moving ahead. Well, tomorrow night I'm going to be talking all about that. So it's a big invitation for you to attend, especially if you're new to astrology, because I try to make my classes as user-friendly as possible. So you can just check me out, CassandraJoanButler.com. But I have my Thursday night classes pretty routinely and regularly for 30 years. So it's an online class. It's all about Saturn, Uranus square that takes place on the 13th. All right. And we'll talk about that tomorrow, Thursday. And then, of course, next week, well, it's actually happening. We're going to do the eclipse class on the day of the eclipse. I love it when Thursdays fall on auspicious days. So let's put this into a framework for each of you. But this week, the next 7 days, I think the main imperative is to balance your feelings with your thoughts and try to find a sense of forgiveness with you if you're not clear on something you want to manifest in your life. It's okay not to know, because we don't always know what we don't know, right? So be gentle with yourself. The Pisces moon lunation that's taking place today, we have the last quarter today. This is the Sabian symbol. I love the Sabian symbol. Sabian symbols, look that up. Sabian symbols are esoteric word pictures for each of the 360 degrees on the wheel. Well, in any case, I'll quote this. This is Mark Emmon Jones. In the sanctuary of an occult brotherhood, newly initiated members are being examined and they're being evaluated for testing. I can't read my writing. In the sanctuary of the occult brotherhood, newly initiated members are being examined and tested. And the meaning of that is that we may be feeling as though this week is something of a test. I want to talk about the word occult for a minute. Occult simply means hidden, that which is hidden. And one of the cornerstones of occult studies or occult studies of any stripe, which would include astrology, is that silence is golden. Silence is golden. I think that this particular Sabian symbol for the moon tonight is reminding us that when we go into the sacred silence of our minds, we can find more meaning than by words. Words can obstruct meaning sometimes. Even though I'm talking to you with words, hopefully I'm communicating my passion about this truth, which I feel is being activated by the climate out there. In other words, Pisces moon lunation, represented by that Sabian symbol, is asking us to be aware that we want to enter into a sacred, special, they call the brotherhood, the occult brotherhood, but we are being tested, we are being evaluated. Can we keep our privacy? Can we keep our mind from chattering? Can we keep our hearts still in the sacredness of silence, of doing your due diligence through your meditation and prayer, and maybe cultivating some time alone to find your answers? That, my friends, I believe is the message of this next week. Because Gemini is nothing but a chatterbox. Oh, no offense, Geminis. I love Gemini. But Gemini rules the binary function of thinking, of comparing up and down and right and wrong. Gemini is the sign of thinking. We've got two little brains up here. That's what represents Gemini, the twins. The twins represents two. Two heads are better than one. Two hemispheres of the brain are better than one. So the Gemini in the sky, the sun, is bumping against the occult brotherhood of silence, of Pisces. You know, not everybody in this moment, in this week, can go away to a desert, no, not a desert island. Well, just to an island by the sea. Some of you may be by the sea. But hopefully most of you either have a bathtub or I would work better with a bathtub, or maybe a lake or a river that they can connect with. I mean, literally use water as your sacred tool in the next week because of this beautiful Sabian symbol. Let's drink some water here. Because I think it's really calling us to get away from the clamor and the clatter and the craziness. And here's another question for you. Have you found that people are a little bit more shorter-tempered? Are they a little bit more frustrated? Is it a little bit more difficult to speak what you want to say? Has anyone been misunderstood out there? You say something and someone says, oh my gosh, what did you say that for? I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. You know, I one of my favorite expressions, again, thank you, Mom, is you are what you do, not what you say you do. That sometimes words matter a lot, but sometimes actions speak volumes and are more authentically powerful. I think she said with her words, I think that's the message of this week. Last quarter in Pisces, the occult brotherhood, bouncing against clamoring, clattering, chattering Gemini energy. I think it's asking us to really go into the quiet, go into your own occult brotherhood, spend time by water, do whatever you can to really connect with your heart and not just your head. And yes, you'll feel frustrated. And yes, you'll change your mind. Mercury's retrograde after all. It's retrograde in Gemini. Whoa. So I thought I'm going to do this. I thought I was going to do that. I thought I was going to take that job. I want to get that car. I want to get that computer. I don't know what to do. That's okay. Relax, friends. The eclipse will brighten up our day next week. And then once we get our answers on the 10th, on the 13th of June, wham, we start putting the pieces of our lives together in a new way, because Saturn Uranus wants us to move forward in the future. That's Uranus's call, but to bring in the security of the past, the stability of the past. Tension creates change. And when the planets are tensely aligned in a 90-degree angle, they're asking us to say, hey, it's time for a new day. It's time for a new normal. And we're just around the corner of, up here at least, up here in the northern climes, the summertime. And what does that mean with the year of COVID, the year of crisis? So just some thoughts. Let's see what people are saying in the room. Okay. Talk about tech chance. Okay. You're starting a new job. Okay. Congratulations, Lisa. Congratulations. It's, you know, I want to get rid of the superstition that you can't start something new with Mercury retrograde. Okay, please. If that were true, that would mean a third of the time everyone on the planet would be on vacation or sleeping. Huh. I'm not sure that would work, would it? I don't know. We have to have some people staying up late at night like me. Congratulations. Words of wisdom for you regarding your new job, Lisa. Quick little pop here. I'm seeing a lot of laughter in the new job and a lot of lightness with two of the four people that you interact with. Okay. Another new job person. The Sun and Taurus starting a new job tomorrow at the Guitar Center. That sounds excellent, Ellen. And I'm going to talk about each of your signs. I'm going to tell each of your signs in a moment. Mary, that's a cute comment. Are you sure you weren't wandering around my head? You know, Mary, I find part of my real job description is not just massage therapist. Oh, yeah, I work with my hands. That's my Gemini past life. Truly. If you're in Western New York, you want never mind, I was going to say a spanking good massage. See, don't take offense by that word. I meant to say a startling great massage, not a spanking good massage. Ooh, that didn't sound right. If you want a great massage, give me a call. But in any case, that's my past life in Gemini. I work with my hands, but I also work with my mind. And my job description, Mary, is to get into everyone's minds. That's my job description. What do you do for a living? I am getting inside people's brains. But the real reality is that we all can, and that might be another form of stress for you all, my dear friends. You might not call yourself a psychic. You might not have psychic written on your calling card. However, because of the lunar eclipse from last week, I do believe, and I've heard this from friends, I've certainly heard this from clients, a lot of people are picking up other people's thoughts and feelings and are getting overly stressed. Overly stressed. I have a lot of people in the counseling field, a lot of clients in the counseling field who come to me, and a lot of people I know. I was a social worker by training, right? So I have a lot of friends in the mental health field, and they're saying that the barrage and demand for good counselors and therapists is tremendous now. And it's almost as if people are feeling more stressed now than they were during the year of COVID. And my thoughts on that is because we don't know what tomorrow is going to be like. We've gotten through collectively a huge, horrifically challenging year of unclear rhetoric from our leaders, from not knowing how our schedule might be from day to day, not knowing if we have a job, not knowing about our finances, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have to tell you. But now things are getting back to a normal. That's the Saturn square Uranus, which takes place on the 13th. People are feeling more stressed because do I wear my mask? Do I not wear my mask? How are things going to be different this year? So you see, this is all reflected by the Gemini cycle. We're in full-blown Gemini, but since last year, May of 2020, the eclipses were moving through Gemini and Sagittarius, which is cognition. So our cognitive perception is being extraordinarily stressed. But at least this week, we can entertain the possibility of activating our intuition. That is my message to you. Be by water. Dream, meditate, sleep, reflect, and be okay with not knowing. There is tremendous power in not knowing, to be in your reflective self and allow things to move through you and to trust and to have faith. Those are Pisces words, faith. Faith, faith, and more faith. Okay, so let's talk about where that Pisces lunation is falling in your chart. And if you know what your rising sign is, blend it with your sun sign for a more full report. Okay. So if you're Aries or Aries rising, this next week, with the Pisces energy being activated, is activating your intuition and your need for retreat. It's asking you to be a lot more mindful of allowing your mind to turn off, to maybe, turn up the daydreams in your life. Do something just because it feels good. Retreat, nap, meditate. Get away from it all. Quiet the mind. That's for our Aries friends. If you're Taurus or Taurus rising, this energy is regarding your social life, your friends, your groups, your associations. So Taurus, spend some time having faith in your friends, reconnecting with people you haven't seen for a while, maybe making plans with some friends to walk by the river. Do something that is nurturing for your social needs. If you're Gemini or Gemini rising, this particular energy for the next 7 days is activating your career. So you might want to imagine the perfect job. Imagine you being in a position that you've always dreamed of, using those Pisces words. That's, again, for the Geminis. If you're Cancer or Cancer rising, this is the week for you to expand your awareness in some ways. Read a book, write a book, make plans for a trip, or, use your imagination to say, when things are all okay, I'm going to be taking that wonderful once-in-a-lifetime travel adventure. The idea is to expand your thoughts, expand your feelings, and also to communicate your truth. That's for our Cancers. For Leo or Leo rising, this energy is activating the energy of self-transformation. Letting go of things and people and situations in your life, Leo, which no longer feed you, that no longer honor you. It's okay. You can put people, a little bit on a pause, not saying goodbye forever, but maybe focusing on yourself and also focusing on your long-term financial requirements. Pay attention to debt consolidation or saving up for the future. For Virgo or Virgo rising, the energy is activating what we would call your partner. So if you're Virgo or Virgo rising, this languishing, beautiful, intuitive energy is about caregiving and caring for the partner in a new sacrificial way. I like that word sacrifice. At the base of the word sacrifice is sacred. So if you're Virgo or Virgo rising, it's okay to make a litany of things you can do for your partner that might be a little sacrificial on your part, but it's going to elevate or benefit the relationship. For Libra or Libra rising, this energy is all about your work and your health. Imagine yourself exercising, dear Libras, and then just do it. I'm a Libra rising. I'm going to imagine myself pumping iron this week. And yes, I promise you I will do it. Even if I'm pumping my, soup cans, there's always a will, there's a way. You don't have to have fancy gym equipment. But that's another talk. If you're Scorpio or Scorpio rising, do what you can to have fun, joy, and romance. Imagine what it would like to have Cupid strike. And even if you have your significant other in your life for 50 years, do something fun and flirtatious with that beloved person this week. If you're Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, this energy is activating your home and your family. Imagine what it would be like to add a little bit more color or comfort or what do they call them? Accessories to your home to brighten up your environment. That's for our Sagittarius. Capricorn, it's time to pay attention to how you're thinking, how you're speaking, and how to get rid of the clutter in your life, especially paperwork clutter. Aquarius, this is the tongue-tied. This is the week for you to pay attention to your income and also pay attention to the many skills you have that sometimes you don't, acknowledge personally. Pay attention to all the things you can do and bolster that self-esteem and also your income, Aquarius. Last but never ever least is our Pisces friends. All eyes are on you. This particular beautiful energy tonight, again, as it poses a conjunction with Neptune, is really asking you to imagine yourself being your best self and make no excuses for yourself. We are all works in progress. We're all perfectly imperfect. And sometimes we have to idealize our best self and then step into that. So for Pisces, imagine yourself being and acting and living your best life. Use that energy this week. Okay. Happy Mercury and Gatorade. Thank you, Anthony. I like that very much. Daydreams. Happy birthday to your son, Teresa. Your son's 33rd birthday is tomorrow. Cool, because his birthday is going to have a solar return chart with a little Pisces scattered in him. So everything I'm talking about, Teresa, is going to kind of be pertinent for your son for his 33rd year of life. Okay. Thank you for that, Paul, for that verification regarding your work with the cards. And we love working with our divination tools. Okay. Dreams every night, Lynn. Yeah, this is a very dreamy time of year. Hey, Krista. Hi, Jen. Thank you for sharing, Christy. I appreciate it. And please, anyone and everyone, if you'd be so kind as to share, sharing is caring. And when you share, I place your name in my basket, and then we do our little prizes for the week. Okay. So I know a lot of you have been sharing every week, and I really, really appreciate that. And so thank you so much. Okay, so we have a little bit more to do, and I know some of you have been very patient. I do the mediumistic energy towards the end. I usually pick 2 people, and I give you messages, and you have to be in the room to receive them. So I'll call your name out, let my fingers do the walking. But first, I'm going to pick the winner of the Sabian symbols, which is an esoterically derived astrological tool. And if your name is picked for this, please, I guess, message me on Facebook with your birth information, and then with your email, and I'll send that out for you. Okay. Okay, so the winner tonight, you just shared, Christy, is Christy Satterbo. My dear, you win the Sabian symbol report of all of your Sabian symbols in your chart. So please message me on my Facebook page, Cassandra Joan Butler, teacher and astrologer, and I'll get that out to you, dear, tonight. Please, as a reminder to you all, I can't say enough about this rebuild phase we're coming into on June 13th. If you're interested in a more profound look at what this means, I do these classes on Thursday nights. They're Zoom. You're very welcome to attend. I have details on my website, and you too can be in the class. I always give mini readings to everybody who attends my classes. So I hope to see you tomorrow night, Thursday. Okay. All right. Rebuild. That is the day. That's the word of the day. Absolutely. And congratulations. And Stephen, you're absolutely right. So I do. Lisa, would you please send me your email again, sweetie? Lisa Phillips got hers. Send me a message tonight if you'd be so kind, dear Lisa. And I will resend that out to you. When I send stuff off, of course, always check your spam in your computer. I've lost some messages along the ways because I use Gmail, and they often put, your email into all these different categories, and sometimes they get lost in the draw. Thank you, Lisa. Birthday, birth time, birth city to my messenger and your email, and I'll get it out tonight, right after this. I'm not having, oftentimes I have clients after I talk with you, but not tonight. Tonight I get to catch up on things like emails. So thank you, Lisa. I'll be looking for you. All right, dear friends. So close your eyes. No, I get to close my eyes. You can keep your eyes open, but you have to be here to get the message. And I'm just going to use my thumb here and pick someone for a message tonight. And we'll see who's okay. 1, 2, 3. And the winner is Asta Loquatra. Asta, not Astra. Asta, darling, are you in the room? Are you in the room from PA? Asta L. Are you here, dear? Is Asta here? And I'll wait for a few moments. Because I know sometimes people watch and then they leave and all this. Hello, Jay. Welcome from Nebraska. Awesome. Nice to see you, Marianne. You can't get the sound. Oh, good, Asta. I'll give you a reading right now. David, I don't know why you can't get the sound. Hi, Monica from San Diego. I don't have a clue. Can everybody else hear me? I hope. I hope. Okay. Hi from Delaware, Terry. Thanks for being here, guys. Thank you so much. All right. I'm clueless. Anyone else? Hi, Agent. Hi, Nicola. All right. We're focusing on Asta for her message, and I'll do another message tonight. Dear God, please allow me to serve Asta. Please allow my words to be filled with love and light and truth, inspiration and healing for the highest and best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. Asta, as I'm tuning into your energy, I'm being very impressed with, I don't know if you live near a wooded area or if you live in the woods, but I'm seeing a great vista of trees and greenery and some hills, might even be mountains. And there's a call for your soul for being out in the woods. And there's also a sense of the call of your soul to move and get more grounded in your home life. And it feels like you've been stuck in a situation for, I want to say, at least 5 to 7 months. And now the rebuild has something to do with your home and rebuilding where you're living, whom you're living with, and where you're living. And I'm feeling very, very good about this. But whether or not you are literally living in the woods, I don't know. But I'm seeing the comfort that comes from being outside in nature. And maybe you're going to a vacation. I have no idea. But please understand that you want to bring that feeling, even if you live in a apartment in a high rise in a big city, you want to bring that feeling of greenery and browns, greens and browns. I'm actually seeing the colors. I'm also picking up with you. Okay. She's still here. Okay. Let's see. My mouth, my voice is not synced with my mouth. You know what I might do? Okay, stay with me, guys. I'm going to unplug my microphone. All right. No. Let's see if this sounds better. Okay. Does that sound better? You do live in the woods, Asta. Well, I saw it, darn it. Okay. Is that better? Is the sound better, Asta? Okay. All right. So you're in the woods. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing you redoing the insides of your home. It feels very rustic to me, but I'm also feeling that you've been stuck for, again, the past 4 or 5 months and needing and wanting to go forward. And as you need and want to go forward with the people around you, please know I'm getting this from spirit. I'm getting this from a grandmother. Don't take people's negativity personally. It's a very distinct message for you from a grandmother who had a chip on her shoulder, and she was razzmatazz, and she had a lot of personality, and she would not let people walk all over her. And she's saying, sometimes you have in the past. It's okay, honey, she's saying, but don't take their bad moods personally. So that's the message I want to leave for you, my dear, that you've got a little angel in spirit, and you have a little angel in spirit who's telling you don't take things too personally, but especially the grumpy man. Whatever. I won't get too personal with you, but that's what I'm getting for you, dear. So God bless you, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. All right. Okay, looks like everyone's doing well. Thank you. God bless you. And we're going to do one more read here. And okay. Mary Taravella. Hi, Mary Taravella. Sometimes I know you and sometimes I don't, but I've known Mary for quite some time. So I'm so honored to meet new friends and also see friends I've known for a long time. But Mary, my finger came to you. Okay, let's put a little bit more brightness on the situation. I think we're good. Mary, you're still with us, honey? Okay, good. You're very welcome, Asta, and thank you for being here. Mary, as I'm tuning into your energy, let me say my prayer to God, please allow me to serve Mary. Please allow my words to be filled with love and light and truth, inspiration and healing for her highest and best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Mary, your mother's coming in here very loud and clear, and she's saying that you're way too hard on yourself, that you've been she's saying that don't feel so bad because you haven't been able to do the things around the house that you think you should have been doing. You're not doing it for her, you're doing it for you. And she's saying, yes, you can take some things apart and make the home more your own and get rid of some of the dark furniture and brighten it up and lighten it up. She's saying, if you want to go with the colors I wouldn't like, go for it. That's what she's saying. I'm seeing peaches, I'm seeing creams, and moving away from more of the heavier, I guess, furniture or draperies or something like this. She says, let the sun shine in. And she's laughing because that's the Age of Aquarius song. Let the sun shine in. And the sunshine will come in. I'm also with your feet. I feel that you want to soak your feet, Mary, that you've had some issues there. Maybe go to the podiatrist or get a pedicure or baby your feet. And of course, I'm feeling your beautiful furry friends around you, and they give you so much love. And I feel that there was one particular kitty cat that you were worried about, but he's gotten better. He had some digestive complaints, okay, but he's better. He's not hacking. And I feel that you got that problem arrested or taken care of. And regarding the feet, as the feet become feeling better, then you can walk more. But your mommy is keeping saying this: do it for you, not for me. Do it for you, not for me. And I leave that with God's blessings, Mary. Okay. Oh, she was all about light. Okay, great. All right, that makes sense. Good. And he's good now. You had to get a little kitty with some problems with the digestion. Awesome. All right, dear friends. Well, this is always a highlight of my week. I love talking with you all and seeing you all. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow night on Thursday. I hope to see you again next Wednesday night for Cosmic Connections, the day before the eclipse. Oh my, we'll talk about that. Please start planning now for your rebuild. It's June 13th. And if you are astrologically proficient, check out where you have Taurus and Aquarius in your chart, because even if it's not the same degree, 13 degrees Saturn Uranus square is activating those areas of your chart and asking you to rebuild something profoundly in your life. So it's going to be good. We are rounding the corner. We're moving into a faith-filled, more optimistic world. And man, oh man, it's been a ride. And leave you with lots of blessings, love, and light, and many blessings. That's a cute comment, Ellen. Thank you. Have a great night. See you soon. Bye-bye.